Hello, friends, and welcome to the 26th episode of the Squad Pod, 27th episode of the Squad Pod, where we
27?
love to talk about all our favorite battle royales and multiplayer video games. I'm Maddox Jr., and hot dropping into this week's podcast. He has a 100% success rate at escaping from Tarkov, Kevin Asex. How's it going, Kevin?
Dude, we escaped 3 times? 2 times.
3 times, I think, yeah.
God.
Somehow.
It's scary. It's just kind of a scary game.
Dude, yeah.
We'll talk about that later, but yeah, that's fun. It's fun.
All right. Next, we have... You guys are so distracting.
It's not us, dude.
Next, we have Washburn135, who is considering shaving his head because he just wants to be like Agent 47.
I don't know if I want to be like Agent 47.
You want a barcode?
He doesn't have a whole lot
of
of emotion. Yeah, barcode on my butt.
Yeah,
so I can sit on a scanner and be scanned.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't know what the barcode will be of, but we'll figure it out.
And finally, finding a little time for us small folk, we have the big timer, Snowbike Mike. How's it going, Snowbike Mike?
This is Agent 47.
Not on stream, but yeah.
Not on stream. We'll get it until the YouTube, but that's fine.
Hey, everybody. I'm happy to be back here on the Squad Pod to start off the new year. Game of the Year talks were really, really fun. Can't wait for this episode. And I'm looking at Maddox's stream page right now. I'm looking at this awesome Amazon shop deals. Might have to buy some of this stuff right here.
I think I made an overlay, so who knows? All right. We're going to get into the games we've been playing this week. And we will start with the game that came out this week, I think. Hitman 3. How is everyone? How much you been playing? What's going on? Do you want to start us off there? Washburn.
Yeah, so I've never played Hitman before. This is the first one I've played. I think it's awesome. The issues with the online connectivity, just like take that out of it. The game is really, really cool. This game, just makes me realize this is what I expect out of like these optimized games, because this has to be one of the most, if not the most gorgeous thing I've seen on the Series X. It's stunning visually. So, and it's getting a pretty consistent, somewhere around 60 frames, maybe not quite there, but somewhere around there. And man, dude, this game is so much fun. It's so goofy. There's so much goofy stuff you can do, from throwing a banana at the back of someone's head to poisoning their drink and then like drowning them in a toilet when they're in a bathroom. It's so odd. But I'm having a great time with it, enough to where I do want to go back and play 1 and 2.
Nice.
On the third mission.
Mission?
I think,
nice.
I don't know how many missions there are. But depending, it's all about that replayability of it. So like the game opens up and it gives you this like tutorial mission where they stage like a yacht. It's like a fake yacht, and they guide you through it once. They'll like talk you through it once, and then they put you in it again, and they're like, okay, well, now we're just gonna let you do it. Here you are. Here's the fake level we've set up.
I guess.
No, the tutorial's awesome. You should play it, because like they let you go and do it how you want to do it, and it's on.
Is
this
it like on a soundstage?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay, that's like I think
1.
that's the one from Hitman.
It's like
1.
It's like a prologue.
Yeah, it's from Hitman 1.
That's the one from Hitman 1.
Is it?
So I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it before.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Yeah,
too.
it's really dope. Like when I went into it, I was just like, "Oh, this is funny. I can go about this a million different ways, right?"
Mhm.
Like there's a way, because the way the mission's set up, there's a dude on the boat who's going to talk to another dude in a white cowboy hat, and one of the ways you can do it is dress up as the dude in the white cowboy hat, or you can just like dress up as a crew member on the yacht, go in, poison the dude's drink, or you can just hide in his office. Is that like there's so many ways to go about doing it, and it's really, really fun, and does have a lot of replay value.
For sure. Yeah. I've played Hitman 2 and Hitman 1. I beat all the missions in Hitman 1, and then I hit I I probably did the main missions on Hitman 2. I think there were some like bonus missions after the story concluded, because when I was watching the cutscene at the beginning of Hitman 3, I was like, this is all the things that happened when I was playing in Hitman 2. Which I actually kind of enjoy the storyline of Hitman, which is whatever, but most people are like, it's here or there.
So yeah, as somebody who's never like played a Hitman before, though, what they're doing in the story, like it seems like, oh, I should really, this is crazy. It seems crazy, right? But I don't think it's having the effect on me that it would if I had played through 1 and 2. So I do want to go back and play 1 and 2. My question is, are those levels going to be optimized like the ones in 3 are? Because the 2 that I've done in 3 are absolutely insane in terms of visuals, like just ridiculous. It opens up in this just stunning like penthouse level tower, right? You're on top of this. Yeah, in Dubai, it's just gorgeous, and then then it like scales down to this like, Knives Out style murder clue house mystery, and it's, I mean, the map is smaller, but it's still just gorgeous. What they're doing with like textures and lighting is insane. So if all the levels from the previous games are like that, I definitely want to get in as soon as possible and check some of those out, because yeah, the settings are pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, I think if you've watched the Blessing show or heard Blessing talk about it, he talks about the Hitman 2 one where you're at a Miami F1 race, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's super cool. That map is a lot of the Hitman 2 maps felt like a lot bigger to me than the Hitman 1 maps, but I enjoyed them. It just took a lot longer to like navigate and figure out what things would work to kill people off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
So
Mike, how's your situation going with Hitman? Have you played any?
I am having a phenomenal time with Hitman 3. I've actually played Hitman since Hitman Absolution. Funny story there. I got into the Hitman series because I was working at a video game store at the time, and instead of receiving a paycheck, he would give me free games. And so my first game I ever chose for working part-time at a video game store was Hitman Absolution. That's when I got into the series, and I've really loved what IO Interactive has created with these past 3 entries, and right now, this is truly something special, right? I mean, Hitman 3 is the culmination of all 3 coming together with the addition of Hitman 1 and Hitman 2. Maps are really, really awesome. And I had a great time on Dubai. I had an incredible experience with the murder mystery. Got to stream it in front of Kevin and Nate, which was a lot of fun. But this is the sandbox, do whatever you want, kill however you'd like, Hitman that you've always dreamt of. And it is so awesome. And as Washburn said, right, the graphical fidelity is truly something to be awe-inspired by. If you haven't gone out and seen the Digital Foundry piece about it, you can see the Xbox Series X is running at a solid 4K 60 with a couple of dips with certain situations. But I mean, this is what optimization means. This is what next gen means. And it's really cool to see it on display from IO Interactive, 2 or 3 months into the console's release. So really, really happy on the, power side and the, the gameplay side. When it comes to Hitman, this is it. This is a lot of fun. It was cool to watch Washburn play it and Nick Scarpino play it. Completely different how I played it, right? Like I go out there, I'm murdering people differently. Washburn's choking people out in the middle of public. And I'm like, you can't do that. And he's like, well, I'm doing it. We even had a cool, fun, like, well, Washburn needs to learn to murder people. He doesn't murder people, so he just puts them to sleep. What happened? The detective woke up naked and started running down the street because of Washburn. So, these are the things that you got to learn as an experienced mercenary myself. Washburn, the young mercenary, needs to learn these kind of tips.
But doesn't it lower your score every time you like? So like that's why, So like that's the thing about this game, and you see, like I saw Lucy James on Twitter going crazy about it today, going back and forth with people like on the leaderboards, trying to like have these super fast, clean runs. I think that's like part of the appeal, and not murdering people is a part of that. And so I do want to like, that's what I think this game does so well, is it makes you want to do it the right way. You know what I mean? And not doing it the right way is still fun, because it like, that's when the game gets funny. That's when you do have a naked detective running down the street. And so like, man, dude, they like, way that this game just presents itself and sort of like coaxes you into doing it the right way with that sort of score counter is, I think it's super unique, and also it's just another thing that lends to that replayability of it. It's just a lot of fun to like try and do different things and see where they all end up, because some of them might end up in chaos. You never really know what you're doing. Like personally, me, like I never feel like I quite have the grip on the situation. I'm sort of figuring it out as I go and like improvising, and I think that's what makes this game so much fun.
Kevin, what is your experience with Hitman? Have you played Hitman 3? Have you played the old ones?
Haven't played 3 yet. I've only played 1 and 2, and yeah, I like them a lot. The one thing I don't know if you can do it. I haven't really checked. You can't go prone in Hitman, right?
Mm-mm.
That makes sneaking around even more fun if you're just crawling around and trying to get to other places. So like that's what I hate about some of these games where you can't sneak around too much. Because I compared it a lot to Metal Gear, where you can't sneak around and go prone and roll around, hide from people, or dive away.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like Metal Gear Solid 5 a lot for that mechanic. But I like it. I like going around trying to figure out what should I do. Should I go kill this guy or knock him out and take his clothes and go into this room or not? Or should I do this, go through the window or something like that? It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of different ways you can play this game, and everyone's going to have a different experience. So it's fun seeing like different people, seeing like how they would go through the level. And I like
that. Yeah, it's that great thing about video games like this, where one person can do it completely different from another person, and then have those conversations are always the most fascinating, because that's what makes video games fun, is everybody plays them a different way, and when you can really dial that into one package like they've done here, it's lends itself to really hilarious and fun conversations.
Yeah, I've only played like a little bit of the first level so far. Um, but like these games have such a lasting appeal to me. I played through the Hitman levels because they released episodically, and I was one of the people that was like on it and like downloading them and playing them immediately. And I would beat the level, and then I'd beat it again and again, and do all the leveling up things that you can do to unlock different starting stuff and different starting locations, because that's like part of it. I don't know if anyone saw Jeff Grubb's like speed run of like 29 seconds through the Dubai level. But basically, one of the starting locations, you start already as a guard, and you like walk in and you like look up, shoot the guy, then walk into the next room, shoot the other guy, and then go down the elevator.
Oh my
It's
God.
insane. It's insane.
So wait,
So
doesn't like every time you play a level again or restart the level, doesn't everything change in the game? Like maybe the knife isn't in the right spot anymore because it moved around during the reset.
I don't think so. I think they kind of have the everything's in the same spot kind of mentality, but they give you a different set of tools every time, or like it unlocks new guns, unlocks new lock picks or whatever.
I thought it did that. I don't know. In my opinion,
I think there is a mode where it does that, Kevin.
Okay, yeah, because I think that's a more funner way to do it. Where like, oh shoot,
I
the
know
knife's not
contracts.
Is it escalation missions? I think
contracts.
Because it like starts out like at a certain difficulty, and it'll be like kill this person, and it'll be like kill this person with a knife.
No,
like, things change up.
I'm talking about like you restart the level and like everyone's pattern is different after the reset. Patterns different. The chandelier, it's not there anymore for some reason. And stuff like that.
That sounds like it'd be a lot of fun though.
God, what game am I thinking of that does that? There's a game that does that. Where if you reset, everything moves around, and you gotta like figure out where everything's placed again. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I think that would be.
There's probably a few games that are like that, right?
I feel like that's a funner way to play it, in my opinion. Just everything you gotta go through the run you're in. If you restart, everything is changed from the previous run.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing some more for sure. But so far I'm enjoying it, and it comes down to like a more refined, better Hitman, but like it's still Hitman. Like when Washburn goes back and plays like Hitman 1 and 2 levels, he'll be like, this is still Hitman, and it's still fun, and like the level design is the thing that makes it the most interesting, I feel like.
Yeah, it's almost like a showcase for them. You know what I mean, in terms of level design and fidelity. It almost does feel like that because the levels are so gorgeous. You know what I mean, and so massive, like deceptively massive. You walk into that house in the second level, and you're like, oh, it's just a house, and then it's oh no, this opens up. You can go all around the like grounds and go back to the greenhouse, go over to the cemetery, do all this stuff, and it almost does feel like sort of a showcase, a showpiece type of thing. But it also is just a very fun video game. So
For sure. Let's see here. What else do we have going on? Kevin, you want to talk a little bit about Titanfall 2 experience that you ran through the week before last, I guess?
Damn, dude. Titanfall. Yeah, because I finished it when we did our top 5. So yeah, been a while, but whew, what a campaign that I slept on. I should have played this campaign a long time ago when I got the game. Because I was just doing multiplayer. And for the reason I thought maybe the campaign's not going to be good, so I'm not going to bother with it. But man, that campaign was really good. Had a really fun level. I don't know if I can spoil it or not. How old is this game? 4 years old?
It's very old.
Can I spoil the game? Is that allowed?
Yeah, I
Available?
think so.
I mean, I think everybody
everyone
knows what happens.
Yeah, I think everyone knows about that level, even if they haven't beaten it at this point.
The going back forward in time with God,
Yeah.
that was a really fun mechanic.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's like the coolest level in it, but there's also so much good stuff with the Titan as well. The Titan's funny.
Mhm.
BT, oh man,
Yeah,
BT is
BT's great.
awesome, dude. God damn, what a bro, what a fucking.
Mhm. It's a real one.
He knew what was up, dude. He knew what was up, man. Just hanging around with him, talking with him, trying to pick the like funny lines so he can say something funny back to you. It was really good pain.
Yeah.
It was short too, right? I think I beat it in like 8 hours,
Probably,
maybe.
Yeah.
But you were playing on Master.
Yeah, I did it on the hardest difficulty, and
Mhm.
everyone says it was the hardest one, and everyone has a tough time on normal. But I'm like, when I was playing it, I was like, it's all right. It's kind of hard here and there, but it wasn't too hard for me.
Kevin, not all of us have a 4.5 KD in the war zone, you know?
I mean,
Not all of our shots are as true as yours.
it's true. You're right. You got a point there. No, yeah, but it wasn't too hard when I played it, but it was really fun. I loved it, man. Now I need to go back and get all the achievements because I know I got 100% this game, so
Mm.
that's the next thing I'm gonna do for that game. But yeah, I love that game so much. Have you guys everyone's played it before?
Snowbike Mike hasn't, and
Snowbike
he
Mike
should.
has not.
I think he would enjoy the
pretty
campaign.
sure.
He should give it a run through.
I was a diehard Titanfall 1 guy, and then of course we all know the debacle, which was the Titanfall 2 release. And when you go up against a gigantic battlefield and you go up against Call of Duty,
Mm-hmm.
guess what happens? That falls to the wayside. And so I have never gone back. I've heard nothing but good praises, especially from you three. But thanks to Game Pass and EA Play deal, maybe that possibility could happen one day, but it's definitely not high on my list right now.
Oh man, it should be.
I could just go back for some more multiplayer. Also,
that too. That multiplayer is really fun. Wall
wall
running,
running, man.
Yeah, I got so used to it that when I hopped onto Apex, I was like, damn,
no.
they need to add a wall running. I really want it.
Yeah, they acted like for some reason that it wouldn't be necessary. I mean, like Kings Canyon, definitely the layout doesn't really require wall running at all. But I feel like in the newer maps, it would be cool. But whatever.
Yeah. Damn.
They were like, no, wall running would be ridiculous. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, like the 10 out of 10 game of the year this year so far.
All right. And then I have been playing a lot of Raft. Washburn played a little bit, as did Snowbike Mike. Kevin, have you hopped into Raft yet or no?
No, I have it downloaded, but I was waiting to hop on with people.
Yeah. So me and JD have like run through the game a little bit. We have a giant raft that we've built, and we've gone to like the main missions, and it's like picking up all the loot that's in the ocean. I started out trying to play on normal with Washburn and Snowbike Mike, and the sharks are just annoying. We switched it to peaceful mode and have had a great time with it ever since. Peaceful mode is far superior in my opinion. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It gives you like a little sense of discovery, tracking down new islands that are like the main mission islands. You stop at a yacht, you stop at a oil rig, and there's like little mysteries and little puzzles to solve. Some of them are a little uh like, I don't know, like not exactly straightforward, and you're like, how would I have ever figured this out? Or like how would I have ever seen this like random item that I need to complete it? But it's it's definitely been a good time, and I am enjoying it. And I think I wonder how much I'll play after we figure out whatever the final mystery is. But I mean, maybe we'll just go ham on building like a ridiculous looking raft, which would also be fun.
Is there a story to this?
Whether, yeah, like sort of. It's told mostly through notes and like going to
Hmm.
different specific islands that
Kind
you
of like
track down with antennas and receivers.
like Ark then. That's what Ark
I was
Yeah.
going to
is.
say, I mean, Kevin, remember when we built the ultimate raft in Ark and we floated all the way around the island? God, that was cool, bro.
We should get back to Ark now, dude.
God.
We gotta get
God,
stuff
that
done.
was cool, bro.
We need to be prepared for Arc 2,
Yeah,
with
Arc
Vin
2 with
Diesel.
Vin, dude. I will say I've been really enjoying Raft. I've played it a number of times now, not as deep and in depth as JD and Maddock have played, but I've played Raft about 4 times now on 4 separate occasions, and I've really enjoyed every single moment of it. It's very peaceful, it's calm. I do agree, Maddock, now with what JD and him have said, I will switch to peaceful mode because I do hate that the shark is constantly bothering me, especially in such a game where it is kick back, relax, talk with your teammates, and just hang out and have fun, right? I'm just throwing the hook out. I'm casting the line. I'm bringing it back in. I'm grabbing plastic. I'm grabbing wood, and I'm building out the raft. And then he comes up and like destroys pieces of the raft that I've put a lot of time and effort into. I absolutely hate, but I understand the gameplay mechanic. I just hate it for a beginner player. But I've had so much fun. And the raft is a really enjoyable game. If you can get it over on Steam, you should check it out because
Mhm.
that's a really cool time. It's another one where we always talk about with us on the Squad Pod, right? We're a bunch of guys and gals playing video games together, and our goal is simple. Let's play a fun game together. And this game is cool, right? Because it's that open world survival-esque game where you're just gonna kind of hang out and you're gonna build on top of the world over and over and over again, which is really cool. And the water looks good. The fun islands you go to are like, cute and small. You guys have hit the mega island, which is cool. But I'm impressed by RAF, and I'm really pleased with that for what, a $14 purchase, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
14 to $24. Like, this is a great buy to have a weekend with your friends and even more, So I like it a lot.
Yeah, for me, and I've probably played it less than either of y'all. I think Maddox, the time we played it was like the only time
Mm.
I played it, but
Oh, okay.
it's like a survival game that I felt comfortable jumping into and not immediately overwhelmed like so many of them are. You know what I mean? Part of that is it's only you in the world, and then another part of it is just the design of the game and how straightforward it is. Use your hook, get these parts, build a hammer, build onto your raft. Here's a recipe book. Here's the things you need to build other things. It's very straightforward, but just like challenging enough, I think, to be fun for a few dozen hours. I think you'll probably get out of this one, and I don't know what the price point is now. If it's if around
I think it's
$15,
$20.
yeah, $15-$20. If you have friends to play it with, it'll be a good time.
Yeah, the thing I like about Raft is that as far as survival games go, it's not like brutal right at the beginning, and like it doesn't feel like you're gonna die all the time over and over. And then also it's not Rust where you're competing against a bunch of people who are
Hmm.
just there to kill the newcomers, which is
Hmm.
not fun at all.
No.
We played Rust for 40 minutes maybe, and then JD and Watchman were just like, nah, fuck this. Mike and I were kind of like, oh, I would have given it a little bit more of a try. And then it was like, whatever, we're just not,
It was
let's
so
just get
funny.
refunded on
Let's give it
Steam.
another
Because
try. I want to play it.
I went into like the world chat and I typed like, why are y'all being so toxic, killing like all the just like the people with nothing? And they just everybody in the world chat immediately just responded, "Go play another PVE game, you noob. Get good." And,
Noob.
and it's just like, well, no, I'm out. If that's the attitude of this sort of the person that plays this game, it's not for me.
I mean, have you not played Call of Duty and Valorant?
Yeah, but I can. I
Defend
mean,
himself.
I can defend myself in those. Yeah,
Whereas that game, it takes a while before you have
man.
a gun.
Kevin, I actually played Valorant the other day, dude. Oh man, we'll have to talk about what some of these people are saying to each other. It was bad.
I know. Was that your first time playing it?
It was
No,
my
he
first
played it with
time. I played it with y'all in the
us back in the
beta.
day.
Yeah, in
Okay.
the beta, yeah. And this is the first time I've like gone into a real game, and dude, it just escalates so fast with these kids. I can't keep up, nor do I want to.
You do gotta play
Yeah,
it.
no, I can't insult them like they can insult me and
Mm-mm.
every other person on
It's
earth.
so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah. So yeah, Raft's a good time for just chilling with your friends and finding and like a more relaxed atmosphere of survival game, which is nice because we're always looking for a survival game that we can actually like play a little bit more consistently, and this kind of fits it, I would say.
Yes.
And then Kevin and I have been playing a little bit of Escape from Tarkov, which I don't know how many people are familiar with this. It's pretty
I've
popular
watched it.
on
Yeah, I've watched it.
Twitch at this point. But it's like a PvPvE kind of a game, uh, where you just load in and try and loot and escape without dying. Um, Somehow Kevin and I escaped 3 times without dying. Don't know how that's possible. We ran into a few scabs. We probably killed like 4 people across the 3 games.
Is it really
We
that
just
hard to escape?
the more time you spend looting, the harder it becomes to escape. I mean,
Mm,
Kevin, if you think about it, like there was the time that we went through dorms, we had to go to 4 different extracts to like actually be able to leave.
that's true. It got
And
scary.
like if you're walking past all those extracts, the chance that you're gonna run into someone's kind of high.
And then we were
The
hearing
more time you
gunshots.
spend in a raid too, it gets a little bit riskier. But yeah, the idea is just like collect stuff and build up a base, and it's just like a high tension video game in general, I would say. Kevin, what did you think so far?
I'm liking it. I like it's like it is kind of stressful, but it's like it also like scares me because when you hear gunshots close by, you're like, all right, stop moving, make sure they don't hear us, and then we try to see where they're at. You know that type of deal. It was really fun. I like that. I
Yeah,
wanted to go back and play more.
yeah, we'll definitely play some more.
So I wonder
Um,
how big can you do a squad?
you can do up to 5 people,
5. Okay.
but you have to remember that you can accidentally shoot your friends.
Yeah, because they don't give you an
Which
indicator on like who's your friend and who's not. So
no, you do not. There's no compass. It's very hardcore. For some reason, they decided that a compass would be like even a one in your hand would be too much of a help. So you basically have to have a second monitor with
the
the
map.
map pulled up, and you have to just try and figure out where you are based on what you see. Which I think I've only played the customs map actually when I was playing it before, Kevin. Like probably like early when I got my PC, so like in March or April of last year, I was playing
Mm,
a little bit. And yeah, like I'm so scared to go to another map because it's
really?
gonna be so hard to figure out where we are.
We gotta do it. We gotta do it. We gotta do a
Yeah,
scav
we'll
and
do
to
it.
go
We'll
to
do
another
it.
map. I'm down
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, that's true. If we scav on another map, it'll be fine. Um and it's like an ongoing beta. It's kind of a weird thing where they're like making adjustments all the time. They have server problems all the time, and they're adding like more and more. They're adding like a whole city. I think during Game Awards or in the summertime, they like gave like a little preview of what they're working on, and it's like a full on city map.
Really?
Yeah, because if you look at the in-game map that like where you choose which one you're going to, Kevin, there's like 4 or 5 that are still like locked because they haven't finished developing them yet.
Oh, interesting.
So this
Yes.
game's going to be enormous when it's done. Currently, they still have wipes where they just erase all of your save data, and then you have to like start at the beginning again. And that is
What the
because
fuck? Really?
they've done like they're doing like big updates to the game. So Christmas Eve or Christmas, they did a wipe, and like everyone was back to square one. Um,
Really?
yeah. And like if you like watch some of the people on Twitch, they'll tell you that like the early wipe gameplay is a little bit better because there's no one that has like collected like an enormous sum of stuff, and it doesn't
Mm.
they'll like go in with all the best guns, the night vision goggles and all that stuff. Um so you're not going to run into overpowered people. as you would like later on. I don't know how they're going to balance that when the game actually is like hypothetically out of beta, which, you know, at this point I would be surprised if it wasn't in beta for like the next 5 years, but
So
we'll see.
does every match, when you play a game of Escape from Tarkov,
Mhm.
are you jumping into a live persistent world, or or is it like Fortnite where you're or any other battle royale where it's a match, like you jump, everybody gets in at the same time, they just spawn at different locations? How does it work?
If you are a PMC, I think every match is technically 40 minutes. So if you're spawning in as a PMC, you will get like the full 40 minutes, I believe, is the idea. So you'll spawn in with a bunch of other people at the same time or like across the map, as far as I know. And then if you're spawning in as a scav, which like doesn't affect your player progression. So your PMC character is like, you get like endurance stats and like gun stats and stuff like that. The scav character is just like a way to like run through the world and collect items when you like don't have enough stuff as a PMC if you've died too much or whatever. And so those characters spawn between 20 and 30 minutes left in the match usually. And the idea is that you're just going into a match that's already like kind of popped off a little, and then you're just trying to scrounge for some stuff. Because it's like the random stuff that you get will be like a gun, a helmet. Maybe you'll get armor. Like most of the time, you probably won't. Sometimes you'll get a helmet, and like you'll have one gun and maybe 10 rounds. You never know.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, maybe I can like pick someone off or loot some other person's stuff that like didn't get fully looted because the other person couldn't carry all the stuff out. So it's kind of like that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's very intense. As far as footstep noises and gunshot noises, it is like you like feel like you can actually hear things
You
as
can
opposed to, you know,
pretty much
Modern
can
Warfare
hear
or
everything. Like even
yeah,
even like people like crouching, you can hear them. But
yeah.
it's not as loud as people like walking, you know. And
Mhm.
apparently you get different speeds of walking if you use a scroll wheel, so you can like even walk even really slow, or you can kind of like just
Speed it
walk
up.
normally. So
Yep.
it's really like so much attention to detail to this game has, and that type of stuff.
Seems like
For
I would
sure.
be overwhelmed.
Yeah, I thought I would have been too watched, but after a while I'm like I get the game now. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it just took a few rounds, I would say.
Yeah.
The fact that we survived was probably helpful to you learning the game too.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like if you die and you like don't understand how the extracts work and stuff, you just be very confused.
Yeah. No, it
But
makes
yeah,
sense.
that's a Escape from Tarkov. You know, if you guys want to download it sometime, join us on a insane mission with 5 people. Maybe we'll do it, and
You can go up to
Mike will
5.
accidentally shoot at us.
Yeah.
What are the like recommendeds? You know what I mean? Like
Squad sizes?
on the specs, like how beefy of a
Oh,
computer do you need to run it?
I don't think it has
I
to
don't
be
know.
that beefy, right?
I don't think it has to be that beefy, and it's like one of those games that doesn't particularly run that well anyway.
Mm.
Kind of like Warzone, I guess. But
Let's see.
I'm Tarkov curious.
Ooh,
I think it was.
recommended.
I think the standard edition that I bought was like $24 or something like that, or $34. One of those two. It's not super expensive, but they are making you pay for a beta, so there's that.
It is recommended an Intel Core i5, i7, or AMD FX, and GPU just has to be compatible with DX11 with at least 2 gigs of VRAM.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty
Oh,
low key.
recommended RAM is 12 gigs. All right.
That seems weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if anyone ever wants to try that with Kevin and I, we can definitely try and run that up sometime. All right, that's about all the games we're going to talk about this week, but we have a question from BJ Bernardo. He wrote in to us at twitter.com/squadpodplays.
You
And he
guys can write
asked,
out too. Anyone can write to us.
oh yeah, Anyone can write to us. Just let us know what question you have for us, or if you have a game that you think we should play or whatever. What do you want to see in the Halo multiplayer battle royale? The hypothetical. And do you want to see it more like Warzone or something that is uniquely Halo? Snowbike Mike, I know you have opinions on this. Would you like to shout out?
I mean, this is the most exciting stuff that I can think about, right? When I look at the Battle Royale world and I see all these different games coming out, there's a lot of games that are very similar. There's a couple that have come out and really wowed me, like Spellbreak, right? When we think about that and something truly different and, unique to the genre. But when we look at what will break the top three, which is Apex, Fortnite, and Call of Duty, there's really only one true IP that can come out with enough name strength that they can rely upon to break the top three, but it will have to come down to the gameplay. But I do think it is Halo, and I am looking forward to a possible Halo Battle Royale that's not a Halo BR, aka the battle rifle, as 343 Industries likes to say all the time. As opposed to what it's going to be, I mean, that's what I'm excited to talk with you guys about, right? Like, I can't wait to build it from the ground up and think about what it is, but I truly believe that 343 Industries needs to make a move and create a Halo Battle Royale and seize and capture the moment, right? We've already heard that they're going to make a PUBG too, right? And this is one of
Are they
those of,
really?
uh-huh.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
this is one of those of like
Oof.
PUBG was the one who really started this, right? There was a couple others, but PUBG was the one that laid the groundwork for the true tactical military grade shooter battle royale, right? And over the years, the engine has gone a little bit slower than everything else. It's become more of a, I wouldn't call it dead game, but when you look at the big three, right, it's a dead game compared to the big three. There's still a thriving audience, but the gameplay's not the same, right? And so
Dead game is a little extensive for a game that has like a 300,000.
I
It's
just
like in the
mean if
top
you
10 of
jumped
Steam every
into
day.
if you jumped into if you jumped into PUBG right now and then jumped over to Apex, Fortnite, and Call of Duty, you would look at me and be like, "This game was made a decade ago, Mike. There's no
True,
way
true.
that I'm
I
ever
agree
gonna
with that.
play that." And so that's when I mean dead game. And I think clearly the developers know that too, right? That's why they're making PUBG 2 because it is time to take this game and get it to the next generation with brand new foundation, brand new fundamentals, and elevate that because PUBG is really, really special. We all know that we have PUBG in a special place in our heart, but it is one of the few to really make your heart beat, feel that tactical gameplay where you got to take it slow, you got to find cover because at any moment you could be shot dead, as opposed to Apex where you could slide 50 feet to the right, drop down some sort of superpower and run away. In PUBG, there's none of that, right? There's no building like Fortnite. Call of Duty is similar to it, but not as slow paced, not as tactical. This is more run and gun in Call of Duty. And so I'm excited to see what PUBG 2 could be because it is time for them to elevate that gameplay if they want to stay relevant in today's market. And that's where Halo comes in, right? The name alone will get you excited. The name alone would get you to download a free to play Halo Battle Royale. But the question is, how and what do they have to do?
That is the question that everyone is asking.
Mm.
When I was watching that E3 demo that everyone railed against, and I was like, this seems fine to me. I don't think the graphics look that terrible. The look when they showed that map, I was like, yo, like, how do you not make a battle royale out of
Mhm.
this giant map? If it's an open world map, like, you already got it.
Yeah,
Like, it's there.
yeah, for me, like, it has to exist. That's step 1.
Mhm.
Um, but I guess for the sake of this conversation, we're just gonna pretend like it exists.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I don't know what the question said, do you want it to feel like Warzone or do you want it to feel uniquely Halo? I guess it's been so long since I've played Halo for, you know, that extended period of time that I can nail down what a uniquely Halo even feels like.
No, you know what it feels like. I mean, it's Halo 5 right now. And
Yeah,
I will
but how
say,
are you gonna work? I mean, you will get into the minutia
yeah, we'll get
of
into
it.
the mini stuff, but like Halo is already similar to Call of Duty, right? We've talked about this before with what Halo 5 and Halo 4 has added to it. Aim down sights, mantle,
So
sprint, and there's different dash mechanics, right? That is moving into today's generation of first person shooters. So you already have in your mind what this is going to feel like and you look like. And it is uniquely Halo because of the setting, right? The Spartans running around, the world, as Maddox said, when you see that giant open world pan over, you see the ring of Halo, you see the different textures, the colors. That's what's going to be there to make it uniquely Halo. And of course, the weapons, right? The moment you grab a BR, it's not going to feel like Call of Duty. It's not going to look like War. It's not going to look like Fortnite. You're going to know it's Halo. So I think it's a blend of both, right? It already has the Call of Duty feel of the upgraded mechanics and movement, but now it will feel uniquely Halo because of the setting and the guns. And that is what this Halo Battle Royale will be.
Would you rather them? Okay, let's start from the top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're dropping in. Would you rather drop in as a Spartan or everybody drop in as ODSTs, which are a little less ridiculous in terms of speed and power? Because here's what I don't want. I'll tell you what I don't want. I don't want Spartans because I don't want Spartan abilities. You know what I'm saying? I don't want some people running around with the jetpack, other people's running around with armor lock, some people have an active camo. I don't want any of that.
No.
So
they won't have any of that. It will just be straight up Halo multiplayer.
Yeah, my preference would be to drop in as ODSTs and everybody just moves the exact same.
Well, yeah,
I don't think it matters what you are. I think it just needs to be balanced for what it is.
Yeah. No, you have to be Halo Spartans because that's what makes it uniquely
When
Halo.
you're a Halo Spartan, you can do certain things that are ridiculous in a battle royale.
Yeah, well, you also don't have to, like, when they're making this game, they don't have to be like, you definitely have to have armor lock in.
I mean,
if you're gonna take it out, then just be ODSTs.
No, because you have to have the Spartan helmets, you have to have the shoulder pads, you have to have the chest guard, because
you have
that's
to have the customization,
microtransactions, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Because if you're an ODST, then it's like, well, shit, I'll just play Call of Duty, right? Like I'm here for Halo because I want to snipe your Spartan face all day, every day. You know what I mean? Like that's what it has to be. No way. ODSTs, get that out of your mind, Wasper. We're not looking at ODSTs. It's not gonna be some jabroni marine.
It makes sense in the lore of it. Like you're dropping in. The D in ODST stands for drop, Mike. I don't know if you know this.
The lore is Halo Spartan Training Grounds. That's going to be the lore. This is where you, a young Spartan, are being trained against a top tier enemy, which is who? Your fellow Spartan.
Washburn mentioned too that he's like, these Spartans can do some ridiculous maneuvers and stuff like that. I mean, we played Apex.
Yeah, that's true.
And they do crazy stuff like that.
And I guess what? I don't like that.
I don't want that. Yeah, I don't want that.
But I mean, it works though. It's not like none of it's like unbalanced though, you know.
I mean, but it doesn't. I don't want it. I don't want it.
But I want it. I want it. I want it.
I see it going one of two ways, but I think the more Halo version of it is that all of the vehicles that you know and love are in this video.
They have to be.
They have to.
Everything.
I think that's. I mean, maybe not like wraiths and scorpions, but.
And maybe not the flying ones. What are the flying?
Hornets,
Banshees,
and the Banshees. Yeah. Maybe not those two either, but I think you got to have Warthogs.
You got to have a Hornet.
ATVs.
You got to have a Hornet.
Warthogs without turrets, because mind you, Call of Duty, all these vehicles right now, technically, because the helicopter's gone, have no weapons on them, and a Warthog Spartan, or Warthog with a turret is totally different than just a straight up Warthog without it. I say you got to take off no weapons on the vehicles. No weapons on the vehicles for me.
I could go either way. I if you balance it right, I don't think it's terrible.
As
long as there's enough cover.
Like how many times have you shot a dude off of a turret?
I mean, less than the times that people with turrets have shot me down. That's for sure.
No.
Definitely less for me. Dude. I'm not as good of a shot.
So imagine that in squads. You see a Warthog coming at you. The dude's on the turret. The whole squad's gonna shoot at the guy on the turret. He's gonna be dead. I don't think turrets on Warthogs would be a problem at all.
Also, as far as Halo vehicles go, their destructibility is just as quick as like a Call of Duty vehicle.
Yeah, they're a Semtex and they'll blow up.
Yeah,
or a plasma grenade.
Yeah.
As long as there's nothing that Mike can fly in.
That's the future over here. And Twitch chat says you gotta have Hornets so Mike can throw them at everyone he meets.
So that means So when we break down the vehicle list, that means the Mongoose is in. That's
Mhm.
a
In.
2-person ATV. Warthogs are in.
In.
Hornets are in because that is a
No.
helicopter.
Boo.
It's not the Banshee. Now we
Get
have to
it
get
out of
into.
here.
Now you have to talk about the Banshees and the Ghosts, right? Because we've already eliminated tanks. Ghosts are 1-person killing machines that can have a turbo and fly, or the Banshees, 1-person killing machine as well. That's similar to a helicopter.
No.
Do you put those two in there?
No, I think
I don't
ghosts are out. I think
know.
banshees are out.
I agree
think
with that.
So
I think if you're gonna take a gun off one thing, it should be the Hornet.
I would put these vehicles with weapons on if we have armor abilities.
Yeah, I could see what you're saying there. That kind of makes sense.
See, for me, I think, yeah, you got to have the vehicles no weapons because that changes the name of the game there. You know what I mean? These should just be modes of transportation. We're shooting each other just like in Warzone. No vehicles with guns on them. That's just me, though.
I feel like it could
It's
go
so
either way
hard.
as long as it's properly balanced. Is
Yeah,
my
I think
thing.
you say uniquely Halo. There's nothing more uniquely Halo than the
Then
Oh,
Warthog.
I
a
know you'd be
Warthog with
pissed
a
if I showed
turret.
up with that Warthog without a turret. I know you'd
Yeah.
be pissed, you know? It
It's
just,
iconic. It's
like
the-
Maddox says, if it's not balanced right, it just won't feel good. It won't be good.
I just think in squads that wouldn't be much of an issue when you can team shoot a guy off a turret.
I
That's
also
kinda where
think
I'm
What
at
what
on
about
if the lay of the landscape is right, it won't matter if they're in a turret because you can at least get cover.
Mhm.
what about
Like if the map is good, it will be fine.
what about this? You find the vehicles, no weapons on them, but you can find the weapons in the map and you have to repair it to put it on. So not
I
every
mean, that would
vehicle
be
will
like a
have
cool
it.
little system.
Yeah, not every vehicle will have a weapon, but some will if you find the right part.
Yeah, that'd be good, and that just like leads into the whole next piece of it, which is some sort of quest/contract system.
Yeah.
And I think after playing Warzone, and we talked about it last week, just the genius of that has to. If you're going to make a battle royale and you don't come out with some sort of contract system or quest system, then what are you doing?
Yeah, because it makes
I
the
think you
game less
have to have
boring
a way.
too.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
they've put that in Fortnite now. Like, you know what I mean? In Fortnite now, you can go and get the bounties, and they've sort of just stolen that from Warzone. That's like an idea that you can't be lost.
So did they have quests before that though? They had quests you can do in the game.
Did they?
I
Like
could
pick
have
up in
sworn.
game
Oh,
like
in
bounty
game like that.
contracts?
Oh, I thought you meant well.
Because they
no,
added
he's
the
talking
bounty
in-game
contracts.
Yeah,
right?
I thought you meant
Mhm.
like just quests in general where you can do like you check
Oh,
beforehand.
No, I'm talking about like in-game contracts or quests that you have to get within the game.
So let's elevate that. Let's talk about which ones you want. So you like bounties.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
We
good
like
one.
recons, right?
Yeah.
Well, recons can
Okay.
be capture the
We also
flags.
like. I was gonna say, you ready for this, Kevin? So you like bounties. Bounties are self-explanatory. Recons, you could have some sort of fun capture the flag mechanic, like you grab it and then ride off in the Warthog back somewhere. Then what about for the King? You know that the VIP one. What if it's an oddball and you have to hold on to the oddball? That means one man is
Ooh.
down a gun. That could be really fun.
That
That
would
could
be
be.
fun.
What other contracts are there? There's
I
the buy.
mean,
So are there buy stations?
It
You know,
has to
moving
be.
from
I don't.
bounties
There has
and
to be a
stuff.
way to get your teammates back.
Okay,
I
so that
don't.
means we have to
It's
talk gulag.
yeah.
We got to talk buy stations.
I don't know if there needs to be a gulag.
Yeah.
There
necessarily.
absolutely
Like,
should be a gulag.
Hell yeah, dude! Fight me 1v1 with a
Mhm.
pistol. Hell yeah!
On
Don't get me
lockout.
wrong. I loved the
On
1v1 mode when
lockout.
it was in Halo 5. The 1v1 mode was super fun.
Ooh.
I got ranked in that shit because it was so fun.
Watchman, draft a tweet up. Tell 343 Industries 1v1 on lockout for the gulag.
Pistols only.
Just say
Pistols
that.
only, let's
Don't
go.
play any more
Pistols only.
context. Just say that.
So like the thing that I'm most concerned about a Halo Battle Royale in terms of just like mechanics is none of the stuff we've talked about so far. It's actually like armor and how is armor gonna work? Is it gonna because Spartans have shields? That's that's what they do.
Yeah.
So are we gonna have shield boosters? Like will it be like Warzone, but instead of like armor plates, they're like, oh, you can put on shield boosters and
like Apex.
3 times. Yeah, like
You get the
I
you get
don't
the
know if
shield
it-
batteries, but you don't get the health. You just regenerate health.
Yeah, but not I'm because here's what I don't like about Apex is how there's like multiple tiers of those. What I love about Warzone is there's armor plates.
I like the multiple
That's-
tiers
But if
one.
they did What if they did the Halo 1 style where you have a health bar and then the shield regenerates,
I
and
want
then you can
regenerating
pick up
health.
health?
Yeah, I could do
mean,
that. I mean,
Yeah, I
yeah,
can see it. Yeah.
that
it
could
kind of
work.
works with the overall
It's the same
universe.
thing. I mean,
Yeah, it's just like
we're
the
talking about the
opposite.
same thing in two different ways. Yeah, like
Yeah.
But the
you
health
need to
one,
have one regenerate.
yeah.
Health must regenerate. We've learned that from Apex going over to Call of Duty. Health is
God.
a must. It has to regenerate because that is a joke of a mechanic. So it has to be.
Having to hit a med kit and then a shield battery for like 40 seconds of a game is just a downer.
It has to be in there. So
Makes you
that's in.
panic.
Shields is right, Washburn.
It
Now you
has
have
to
to
be
have the
fast.
conversation, right? It's
Like,
got to be fast.
Yeah.
It's got to. Does it have to be, or is it just going to regen? Would you prefer a regen mechanic
No,
similar to your health?
I don't think you can do that anymore. I would I want them to do it like Warzone does it because this is like one of the greatest things about Warzone is the armor plates. It's
Yes.
armor plates. So
So why
let's
not just make armor plates? Is right.
let's rename them like shield
Yeah,
boosters.
exactly. And
And
bang,
and
you
they
just
just
grab it,
add
put it
on to
on.
your shield 33% at a time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or
But-
however many they want to do.
I like the tier stuff in Apex where you have one small
Oh.
battery and a big battery.
No, Kevin, too much, too much, Kevin. It's too much.
How's it too
Kevin,
much?
we
Because
want to
then you
make
got to
it so
fumble
that you
inside of a
don't.
backpack.
Yeah, you gotta
I'm
mess
not
around in your
opening up a
inventory.
bag. Like Maddox going to tell you, I'm not opening up a bag. It's got to be just simple, fast, and easy.
You guys are a bunch of babies here,
easy.
dude. You
I
guys can't
don't
open
wanna
an
be in my
inventory.
I don't
Well, that's
wanna
why
be.
Apex isn't number one anymore, Kevin.
I mean,
unfortunately.
you're not really in
This
inventory in
is
Apex,
not
though,
number
too.
one. What are you talking about? You got to go to a scroll wheel and pick out of the 5 different items there are for some apparent reason.
But
You gotta
that's
pick
because they
all
have the
5
med
of
kit,
them.
though. They have the med kit. We got
They
rid
got
of
a
the
med kit. They got a mini med kit. They got a big shield. They got a little shield.
Yeah.
Just make it streamlined like Warzone, where it's just one thing. Bang, strap it on. You're done. You're moving. It has to be that way because it's just been proven. It's faster. It's better.
Yeah.
When there was a discussion about
I agree.
Apex and Warzone on one of your streams on Kind of Funny, I think, Mike, the chat was just like, "No, don't make Apex into Warzone." Everyone was like, the hardcore Apex kids like hate the idea of like health regenerating and shit like that, which is so funny to me because like that makes your game so much more boring.
It makes it slow.
Makes it slow.
So much better.
The
It makes it
real
different, though. That's the thing, too.
The
You
real
want-
thing that I think makes Warzone better than Fortnite and Apex is the pacing, where you have to fight people and you
Mhm.
have to win those fights and you have to keep going. And Apex does that thing where you get 2 kills and win a game, and Fortnite does the thing where you know how many solo 1 kill games I have? Like 5. I've killed 1 person and won a solo game.
Mhm.
Like you
But so
can't be
that-
having that.
So the question would then be to you, Maddox, is that because if you beat teams, you feel like you get more loot from them to be better? Or is it because the map and the situation of the settings makes you collide with people more? Like in
think
Fortnite
the
and Apex,
map,
can you
the
hide
amount
more?
of players and the fact that people can come back easier than the other 2 games.
Encourages you to go collide with people?
Yeah, it makes you
Okay.
collide with people because there's no other like if you had a triple UAV in Fortnite and in Apex, you'd be like, wow, look at there's 2 teams fighting on this whole map right now,
Mhm.
you know? And when you look at it on Warzone at the beginning of a game, it's like there's 5 people in this one region, there's 5 people in this one region, or 5 teams or 4 teams or
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah, you just want to fill up the map as much as you can without it being overbearing. Somewhere between the feeling of Rebirth Island and Verdansk. Like that's where you want to be.
I think a big
And
one
even
as
Rebirth
well.
Island isn't the worst all the time, in my opinion.
It's a tad bit too fast for me, but like I don't hate it.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
I think that like the gunplay in Halo is so different from any of these other games, man. It's so reliant on headshots and you know the type of gun you're using versus Warzone where you know so much of it is I shot you first. It's a totally different type of gameplay.
All right, well, let's talk about the guns because that is going to be the major part of the gameplay. We all know of and had this conversation, right? You come from Apex, which has attachments on it that you grab throughout the game. Warzone, where you can straight up make a loadout with any attachment, or there's different ground weapons. Fortnite has made it just simple of here's a gray weapon, here's a purple weapon. You understand what those colors mean? You grab the best color, right? And so now Warzone, or I mean Halo, is gonna be a little bit different, right? Are we gonna add attachments like in Apex? You're gonna make it streamlined, like in the Warzone, which is their PvP, PvE game mode, right? With the cards, where there is four different levels of battle rifle, right? 4 different levels of the plasma rifle, and you have them spread out, or you customize it. Are we dropping in with a loadout washi? Like the weapons will determine this gameplay right here. It's already an iconic setting, and look, the weapons will determine this, though.
It's I would, and this is probably my most simple answer. Just have all the Halo weapons and then have them be gray, green, blue, purple, orange.
And what does that mean? Different damage specs, different range specs? Like what are you breaking these things down to?
I mean, damage. It depends. Like, say
the battle rifle has to have a scope,
so like,
right?
say you've got a needler, right?
Okay.
Needler's going to be the easiest one to do this with. A gray needler takes like 15 needles to explode. A green one takes 12. A blue one takes 10. And it just like scales, from there all the way up to orange. Orange battle rifle takes 3 shots to the head. And then 4, 5, 6, 7 all the way up to gray. Like I don't think you have to overcomplicate this.
I
like that. I like that a lot.
I think there's an alternate option where all the guns do the same amount of damage, but there are versions of each gun where, like you were saying with like the Warzone contracts and all those things in Halo 5, where there's the one that has like the scope, there's the one that has the big scope, there's the one that has the silencer and all that stuff. And it's more of like just a preference thing.
I mean, but that would that incentivize me to go out and find guns, right? If I know that my gray BR is the exact same as Washburn's purple BR, just minus a silencer and a scope, it doesn't matter then, right? Then we're just grabbing ground loot. So it has to, because in Warzone, you're not running around with a gray SMG, right, man? Like say there's no loadouts. If you had a gray SMG compared to a purple SMG, you're grabbing the purple SMG. Because it's going to do more damage. It's going to be better, right?
You say that, but there are multiple blue and green things that I would rather have than purple things.
And the gold, there's a lot of gold ones are bad too.
You're not running around with grays though, right? It's like plain and simple. You're not running around with gray weapons.
I mean, depending what's out there.
Most of the time.
But like if you told me, Mike, you could pick up a gray battle rifle and it's going to be the exact same as this purple battle rifle, I'd be like, all right, cool. Give me the gray battle rifle and I'm never looking for loot again. You got to encourage people, because that's another one like you talked about, right? To encourage a fight and a battle. If I know that the better weapons are somewhere else and somebody has it, we have to have some sort of incentive to kill you, or else I'm just going to hide in the corner with my gray weapon till the very end because it does the same damage. Like you have to incentivize people to collide.
Competitive about everything having the same damage. Everyone's on that level playing field. I
mean, everybody's on that when they drop loot better.
Have you ever looted in Apex? Sometimes you just get like the worst luck ever.
I mean, then change the game. Like for me, it's you don't have to overcomplicate weapons. I really don't think you do. Halo weapons are gonna be awesome because they're Halo weapons. That's what makes Halo awesome. The needlers, the energy swords, plasma rifles. Let's put them all over the map. Let's give them gray, green, blue, purple, orange, and move on.
Yeah,
like the guns aren't going to be what makes or breaks this game for me. It's going to be everything else. I know the guns in Halo,
the vehicle balance
awesome.
and stuff like that.
The guns in Halo are going to be awesome no matter what. I'm not worried about guns at all.
Well, what do you think is 343's issues then? Because I personally think it's the guns. I think they're having the biggest issue of balancing in the guns, because this isn't a question of setting. This isn't an issue of vehicles. It's not an issue of characters and microtransactions. They have all that, and they've proven that over the years with their Warzone and with their big team battles. They have the groundwork already for a battle royale. What are they afraid of? And I think it is the balancing of the guns. I think it is making it unique and making the guns different depending on what level it is, or dropping with the loadout. Because I think that's what they're getting held up on. You have
I don't think it's necessarily.
I don't think they're afraid of that. I think they're afraid of launching a game that's not going to work, like they've done twice now.
True.
Like
what?
That's big facts.
Did Halo 5 not work?
Not at the beginning.
no.
I thought
Both
it
of those games
did.
were broken.
No, Halo did not work. Halo 5 did not work well at the beginning.
Really?
And if you release a battle royale and it doesn't
have
work
you
at the
tried to squad
beginning,
up
and it's
recently?
like think about how massive Halo is. As soon as, and they're gonna be people, oh, it's not that big. It is. Halo's fucking huge. When they come out with a battle royale and it doesn't work, it's done. It's done. People are gonna go back to Warzone. That's what they're afraid of. When 343 drops this thing, it has to work day one. It has to work as soon as you boot it up on your machine. As
And
soon as it doesn't work, there's 4 other battle royales that you can go play.
let's just keep in mind the amount of times, even more recently than the start of Halo 5, where you would be in a squad with someone like me, Mike, Washburn, and Kevin, and then the game would load in without me for some goddamn reason.
Oh.
Yeah, they have a big problem. They have a big problem with matchmaking, and the bigger problem will be is this will be crossplay. There will not be any questions day one. This has to be crossplay because it's such a big push for Microsoft and Xbox to have the ecosystem. It being free to play on both PC and Xbox. This will be day one crossplay, which means it's got to be perfect. Is right. There can't be any issues here.
Yeah, I don't think like a Halo Battle Royale is so easy to visualize because Halo has had these ingredients since its inception. It's had long range guns, it's had different weapons, it's had things like that that just lend themselves to battle royales, vehicles, big maps. It's not rocket science here. I really think what they're afraid of is what if we release one and it doesn't, and there's
it
another
doesn't
Master
click.
Chief collection on our hands, and it's
Mhm.
just another disaster. I like that can't happen, and I really do think that's what they're afraid of. With guns, it's guns. It's gonna be the Halo guns. They can just do it like Fortnite. I don't care. The most interesting thing to me about it are the gunplay, not the guns themselves, but the gunplay and the armor. Because especially in squads, when you get into those battles, that's not going to be like a fast process like Warzone is. So how do you balance
Yeah.
that? Because like
Because it's like the Apex time to kill is a
it's
lot
Halo.
longer than
Yeah, but
or it used
it's
to
going to
be.
be even longer than that because in Halo you can run. I
Yeah.
think in Apex there's like yes, it's longer. You can make plays, you can hide, you can heal up for 45 seconds, whatever. In Halo, when you're healing up really fast, but it still takes you a long time to kill, those battles are just like they can go on and on and on, especially in the end game. That's going to be the most interesting thing to me to see how they balance that out. That's why the
For
whole
sure.
ODST thing comes to my mind because you have to manage this time to kill. You know what I mean? The time to kill just has to be doable. And in a lot of and I just it's hard for me to visualize that in a Halo Battle Royale because the amount of just battle rifle fights I've gotten to that have lasted 30, 45 seconds in one-on-one situations in that franchise. And then just multiplying that by 4, going both ways is crazy to me. It's hard for me to visualize that. Everything else is easy. Everything else is Halo.
I Am the Game has a few points in chat over here. He says there's never been a Halo game where you can get down before, so that's going to be a jarring, assuming that's a mechanic.
It has to be in a mechanic, unfortunately, so it will be no matter what. And it won't be jarring because you've played so many battle royales. It will just be second nature to you now, so it won't even feel different.
I think you could get downed in the campaign of Halo 5.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can.
that's true. That's true. That's true. And then I Am the Game also says, will a sniper rifle always be a one down headshot? Which I
No.
don't think is necessarily a bad thing.
It can't be.
No, it cannot
But it is in Warzone.
That's true.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a lot
With
easier
certain
in
guns,
Halo.
yeah. Full armor at one shot downed. It's happened.
Really?
Yeah, that's what
I
the
don't
car
use
is.
snipers. Really, the car's one shot down. Okay.
If you hit the
then it's gonna be a
headshot.
one shot down.
That's gonna be crazy because sniping in Halo is a lot easier than traditionally.
Yeah, because you're not holding your
Traditionally,
breath, so you're always steady.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they can add like a mechanic. You have to hold your breath.
The Spartan doesn't need to do that.
I mean,
And
Master
then-
Chief doesn't need to do that, but like the other guys might need to.
And then the last question, of course, that is a good point because Halo has always been this gun is here on this map. This gun is here on this map. they're always in the same spots. Are we RNGing it Apex
Mhm.
style where
You gotta
the
RNG
bin
it.
opens and it's a different thing every time?
Yeah.
You got to.
If you don't, then it doesn't incentivize people to explore.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. I think that because there's all sorts of people that are like, if you want this to be a competitive game, Apex to be a competitive game, you'll put all the same loot in all the same spots. And I was like, then everyone lands at like a certain spot every time.
Yeah. Think about, I mean, that, and also that goes both ways because I don't think we would land hospital every time if we knew where everything was every time. You know what I mean?
True.
So,
Yeah.
but it incentivizes you to explore while also keeping areas interesting when you go there over and over again. So, yes, RNG is a must.
Yeah, it's definitely overall to me it's just like a general balancing issue. I don't think it's down to like the vehicles or down to like the guns. Or down to the health. It's like you have to manage all those things at the same time. If one of those things doesn't seem to work right, it's just not going to be a good experience.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the health. For me, it's just the health of the time to kill because that's something that Halo's so different. Where that's what sets Halo apart from Call of Duty. It's what always has.
The
In
time
Halo,
to kill is so much longer. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, in Halo, out BRing a kid is the most satisfying thing ever because you know that you're better than him. It's not because you saw him first. It's
Yeah.
because you are better than him. He had a chance to turn around and end you, but he didn't because you're just better. That's what makes Halo so much fun, like, and so fascinating to think about in this sense. Where what does that look like in a battle royale? I
Isn't
have no
the
idea.
time to kill different in like the elimination mode versus the regular team
Mhm.
deathmatch mode?
Mm-hmm. But that's just because there's no shields in that. I'm pretty
Is there?
sure. I'm pretty
Or
sure.
I thought you just had lighter shields, maybe.
I think you have lighter
No.
shields, but you don't regenerate as quick too. It's
Yeah.
slow regen.
Yeah, that's why I'm not as concerned about the health as just like everything working together because you can adjust that and like clearly like they've adjusted it for different game modes before.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
It's a lot.
Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it works.
Hopefully it exists.
Hopefully it exists because I don't know how long a 5v5, 4v4 multiplayer game can remain popular in
How long did we play Black Ops?
today's like
2
3
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah,
2
that
weeks,
long.
3 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, you make a good point.
I mean, that's what everybody will always tell you is like,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. People love this. And it's like, no, we're trying to
No.
grab the general audience. We're trying to
Yeah.
get up to a Fortnite and Warzone level where millions of people are logging on daily. And unfortunately, I know there's diehard Halo fans out there, and I'm one of them. But at the same time, the player base drops off quickly within that first 3 months. And if you don't have a way to capture them and you're not in the mind share, you're doing it wrong. And
Mhm.
343 Industries and Microsoft, they know that. It's not like these people aren't going in every single day and having these discussions. This is the prime time. This is the moment, especially after 2 subpar games that they just built. This game now coming out as the third, and they are getting just beat down by the audience. They're getting
Mhm.
beat down by critics, and they need a big moment here. They need a big win for this studio, especially with how much money and resources Microsoft has put into this for Team Xbox. Like 343 Industries can't miss.
Yeah,
The
and
rule now, you can't miss.
let's like, yeah, if you step back and look at it and be real about it, it's not going to be as popular as Valorant. It's not going to be as popular as Overwatch. I doubt it's as popular as Rainbow Six Siege, and those are all games that have already sort of dominated that space of not being a battle royale and still maintaining popularity. Halo's
That's a
not
good
going to be that.
You don't think
It's just
Halo
like
could be as popular
no.
as Rainbow Six Siege? Really?
No, no. I just don't think so. I think it's just a totally.
When was the last time you
I
saw
don't.
competitive Halo going on as big as Rainbow Six Siege does it?
Halo
in
3.
MLG
Yeah.
Halo 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
But I mean, that was back with Bungie, though it's a different developer now, and I agree with that. But like, Halo is just as close as a Call of Duty here. Like, CDL is starting this weekend. We just watched CDL all together. If you made a Halo CDL type league, which
That
they are,
exists,
yeah, it's Halo Championship Series.
and nobody fucking cares.
They put a lot of money into it this year of like they've hired new people. They're going to try to rejuvenate this. And that's another factor of like Halo can be incredible. Halo can be
Yeah,
special,
Halo
but
is
they have to
incredible.
try. I mean, well, not a competitive esports scene, not anymore, like you
But
just
as a
said.
video game, it is.
Video.
Like, no, nobody wants this to happen more than me.
Yeah, I know that.
I would love for Halo to be on that level. Halo's what got me into competitive video games, or at least like realizing that they exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like if Halo comes out with no battle royale and it is team deathmatch and it does hit this, let's say it hits the same popularity level of the CDL, and that's me setting the bar. That's the low bar, because I still think Valorant and Siege are and Overwatch are more popular. If Halo can come out and be on the same level as a CDL in just the proper multiplayer suite, dude, I would love it. I would watch it every weekend, because I think Halo, for me, it just my personal taste, is one of the most fun esports to watch, because like, dude, it's not Overwatch where the whole team dominates. No, and it's not Call of Duty where one person sees a bunch of people first. No, Halo, when one person dominates, it's like watching LeBron James, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really is. It's crazy to like watch somebody just dominate in Halo. So if they can hit that popularity level of a CDL, I would love it. I just don't think it's possible.
Fair enough. I guess
Yeah.
that's all we have to say about Halo, which is
It's
a
gonna
lot.
be great. Just make it 3-4 Industries.
Mm.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah, I think that they can do it. I believe in them. If you do it right, it's going to be popular.
I mean, that's why they
There's no
delayed
doubt
it.
about that. Yeah, that's true. They're trying. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for you this week. You can catch the Squad Pod live occasionally on one of our Twitch channels. You can catch Washburn on twitch.tv/135, Kevin at twitch.tv/KevinAsex, and Snowbike Mike 5 days a week at 11 p.m. a.m. Pacific
So popular now.
on Kind of Funny Games Twitch. And
There we go.
sometimes even in the evening, you never know. And
Never know.
some of you are here in my chat currently watching this lovely podcast live. Until next time.
Calms
Kevin.
out.
I almost did it for him. Nice job, Kevin.